Matt Gaetz just issued a suspicious statement responding to the release of his ethics report, and you'll want to see this because it shows just how scared Matt Gaetz truly is about this report. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, the House held a secret vote to release the ethics report on Matt Gaetz, which is what prompted Matt Gaetz going into damage control mode on Twitter, trying to make himself look better before the report actually releases. Now, we don't know exactly when this report's going to release, but it's very likely going to be in the next week. And what I find interesting about this news is that a former GOP congressman actually said that he's not surprised that this happened. I think a lot of us had doubts that this report would actually get released, but he was not surprised at all when this news released. Take a look at this.
I want to bring in former Congressman and Ethics Committee Chairman Charlie Dent for more on this. Congressman, thanks so much for taking the time. Right off the bat, how surprising is this reversal to you, and what do you think went on with the committee's decision here?
Well, I'm not at all surprised that the Ethics Committee is going to release this report. Clearly, Matt Gaetz is not very well liked by his former colleagues, particularly on the Republican side. So it's not at all surprising that they're releasing this report. The big question was, should a report be released after a member of Congress resigns? There is precedent for doing so back in the late 1980s and the 1990s. There were cases of reports being released after members had resigned. And so I'm not at all shocked. The real question is, was the vote in the committee unanimous, or were there some dissenting votes? But I suspect most members of Congress are probably going to be thrilled that this report will be released in short order.
So in your estimation, what does this mean for Gaetz? How concerned should he be?
Well, again, an ethics report, they're really investigating any violations of House rules. They're not necessarily criminal misconduct, although during the course of an ethics investigation, they could uncover potential criminal wrongdoing and refer the matter to the Justice Department. I don't know if the report does that or not. We don't know what it says. At the very least, the report is going to say that Matt Gaetz has brought discredit upon the House, and they're going to basically talk about all the issues you just mentioned in the lead up here about allegations of sex with a minor and payments for sex, or perhaps payment as a hush money. We don't know, but I'm anxious to hear what the committee actually reveals in that report. Ordinarily, the committee would also issue a sanction, a reprimand, a censure, or in the most extreme cases, expulsion. But since he is no longer in Congress, that really is a moot point. So I suspect we may not see a sanction, but maybe they will suggest what they would have sanctioned had he still been a member.
You know, this was a very public back and forth. You watch this like everyone else, whether or not to release the report. Now the Ethics Committee is set to release it after holding what appears to be some sort of secret vote. Is that how you think issues like this should be decided?
Well, the Ethics Committee, because they're dealing with very sensitive personnel matters, their meetings are always private or secret. Like the Intelligence Committee, they ordinarily will not talk about allegations against a member. Just an allegation against a member of Congress can cause severe reputational damage. The only time the Ethics Committee ordinarily talks about or speaks publicly about a matter is after they have resolved it, as is the case here with Matt Gaetz. And when they find some type of a wrongdoing or potential sanction, then they will release a public report. That's how they deal with these things. Because there are times, and I've saw situations where members were accused of issues and they were really not in the wrong. And so we don't want to further bring those issues to light, about an allegation that it was disproven or found to have not have merit. So that's why they're very sensitive about how they deal with these matters publicly. And then that's why there is this important need for secrecy in these matters.
So yeah, I think we're all super excited for the release of this report, and for me, even more so now with Matt Gaetz's most recent damage control on Twitter. So let's take a look at what he said. The Biden/Garland DOJ spent years reviewing allegations that I committed various crimes. I was charged with nothing, fully exonerated. Not even a campaign finance violation, and the people investigating me hated me. Then, the very witness DOJ deemed not credible were assembled by House Ethics to repeat their claims, absent any cross-examination or challenge from me or my attorneys. I've had no chance ever to confront any accusers, I've never been charged, I've never been sued. Instead, House Ethics will reportedly post a report online that I will have no opportunity to debate or rebut as a former member of the body. Now that's all stuff that you'd probably expect to hear. He's basically just saying, hey guys, I didn't do anything. But this next part is actually what's most questionable about this statement. In my single days, I often sent funds to women I dated, even some I never dated but who asked. I dated several of these women for years. I never had any sexual contact with someone under 18. Any claim that I have would be destroyed in court, which is why no such claim has ever been made in court. My 30s were an era of working very hard and playing hard too. It's embarrassing, though not criminal, that I probably partied, womanized, drank, and smoked more than I should have earlier in life. I have a different life now. But at least I didn't vote for CRs that F over the country. Now I think we can all see what's wrong with that part there. Who sends money to women for no reason at all? He's just saying that he's giving handouts to women if they need it or want it, like even if they're not dating. I mean, that's pretty nice of him if true. But in all seriousness, clearly there was something up, and I think we all know what was up. Matt Gaetz knows that this report will be bad, which is why he's trying to do so much damage control, but to be honest, it's not really working. The other crazy thing that this exposes is that Matt Gaetz has clearly never been in an actual loving relationship, because he thinks that you send people money to be in a relationship. It's so funny that nobody wants to be near Matt Gaetz unless they're being paid to be, and he just exposed how unwanted and lonely he is. I cannot wait to see this ethics report because it's going to get absolutely crazy for Matt Gaetz.